Sagittarius. Hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Saggies in early to mid-May? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in early to mid-May. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's see what we got. And it is Taurus season, and I always love the weather around this time of year. Oh, this is fun. Okay. This could be a very, very good card. And I don't always see it. Like, it's one that comes up like every few months for like one sign. And there's just a very happy, lighthearted energy to it, which, hey, that matches Saggy to me. I know you all have a beautiful sense of humor. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. Now, as you can see, this does have like a nice lighthearted, bubbly energy to it, right? We have this little crystal ball, we have that little pony unicorn, there's like a whimsical energy. Got the little dolls down here at the bottom. So these remind me of toys. And when I think of toys, I think of fun. I think of leisure activity. I think of doing things that I enjoy. So for those of you that may be going through a time where maybe things are a little boring, maybe things are a little monotonous, maybe you've been go, 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 go nonstop, whatever it might be, Spirit might just want you to do something that you enjoy. Genuinely, whatever it might be. It doesn't mean you have to go out and party for like a whole weekend or anything like that. It's like I need to do something, whether it's a hobby, whether it's getting out there in nature. It's just something about making time for enjoyment and leisure activity. So that's great, especially if that's something you're already doing. If that's something that's already within your schedule and you're enjoying yourself, that's even better. Now, the only downside to this card is that it can be too excessive. And again, no judgment here. I'm not saying anybody's definitely doing that. Everything in moderation, everything in balance, because when I see this card in the beginning, it could be an energy that lets loose a little too much. So we're just going to let it chill over there. Hope you're having a good time. Let's see what tarot has. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Saggy. Let's see what's happening in early to mid-May. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Explosive Action Incoming. Now, if you were an earth sign or even a water sign, I'd be a little more concerned with that title. But since Saggy is a fire sign, we're more adept at dealing with that fiery type of energy that showed up very prominently last week. Now, again, whether it was an action you took, action someone else takes, fire can be a little unpredictable, but if there's any sign that can go with the flow and roll with the punches, it would be Sagittarius, you with that beautiful mutable energy. So again, there could be something popping up out of nowhere or just something flaring up quickly. So keep your head on a swivel over the next coming weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else. Let's get it going here. 3 cards for my beautiful Saggy friends. There we go. Quick. All right, world. Interesting. Yeah, this card to me usually represents the culmination of something, like something that builds up to a point. So we're going to have to see what's up here. I don't dislike it, and I know like there are some people that see the world and they get all nervous about it. To me, I feel like there's something about it that's right. And the energy did also show up in the Aries reading this week too. So maybe it's a fire sign thing. Okay, 4 of Pentacles. If there's something we want to watch out for, it's this. I could definitely tell you that. Let's get one more out here, Saggy. Now my interest is completely piqued. And we have the wheel right on the back end. So these energies are very similar. They offset each other. Really love the Wheel of Fortune there. Okay, we got an interesting one on our hands, my good friends. And you know, those are the ones I like, the ones that get juicy. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always like to look at the elements. I feel like they're important. They frame the reading. They tell us how the energy is going to flow. Uh, Earth predominant right here in the center. The world and the wheel of fortune, I mean, we don't have to lock in an element to it because usually it's just a modality and how the energy moves. But if anything, I would say the wheel is kind of like fiery and this one is more like fixed in place. So again, when it comes to earth, and especially this fixed type of energy we have on the front, it's more about matters of stability, matters of security, whether it's inward or outward. I think of routine. I think of day to day life. I think of things that have always been this way and it will always be this way. The thing I love about Earth energy, it's great for money, work, business, finance. So anything in that realm could be highly favored with this mixture of elements right here in the front. Really good stuff. Home and family could be a big thing with that. Now, the downside to Earth energy is that it's a very, very slow mover, right? That's what these two energies are. They're barely doing anything. They're barely moving, if at all. So we want to see, like, is it just a dull energy or is it just something that's a little clunky? On the back end here, the Wheel of Fortune, again, it's not one element, but I link it as like a fiery type of vibe. And I could explain that over like the course of a 20 minutes. But yeah, totally different than what we have here on the back end. Fire's all about action. Fire's all about progress. Fire's all about movement. So there is a big vibe switch right here. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the world, which I find very intriguing because the world is the last of the major arcana within the tarot deck. So it's like we start with a card that's classically seen as an ending. Now, that is true. There's a lot of readers that see it and they're like, oh, that represents an ending or a close of a chapter. And it can, but there's a big differentiation I like to make. It's not like the Ten of Swords, right? Like this to me is more like a natural culmination of something or something rising to the top or just something coming to a head. It could just be a completion or the final form of something. So when I see the world, I think of goals. I think of what we're working towards. This is a huge energy of change. It's an energy of transformation and metamorphosis, whether it's internal or external. So there could be a lot. And listen, life is about perpetual change, right? We're always shifting and changing, but sometimes faster or more heavily than others. And that's what this world represents. So, yeah, could it be a close? Absolutely. But to me, I'm thinking more of the shift, especially with what we have coming up on the back end. So, we'll explore it. It is also a karmic card that can speak about cycles, karmic situations, you name it. We're not going to dive too heavy into that, but we're just going to put the world down here. So, it's like we begin with a culmination of some kind. So, whether it's in a situation or in general. Now, moving to the middle, is where we have a little bit of a speed bump, right? Because these energies, they're very similar. They mirror each other. But the Four of Pentacles, you see that person, they're clamped on, holding on to that pentacle. And similar to the earthy energy, this card is really fantastic when it comes to the earthly matters. Where it gets dicey is when we're talking about emotional things or interpersonal things. So again, is this card great for work, money, business, finance, investment? Absolutely. This is an energy that's in pentacle mode. It's stacking pentacles. So if you're in that mode, great. This energy looks good. But this card, when talking about emotions, it could hold on to something for too long. It could hold something and keep it down and suppress it and not let go. In its worst case scenario, this could be jealous. It could be possessive. It could be grudgy. So this is something we really want to keep a close eye on. And it's an energy that's not budging. It's an energy that's just very set in its ways that we want to keep an eye on. So it's like we have this energy on the front that's trying to shift. We have the energy on the back that's trying to shift. And this one here in the center is like, no, you're not. Like that energy is like, no, this needs to stay the same, or this energy is the same. So that's intriguing to me. It can represent delays, right? It could just be very stubborn. But moving to the back end, it's like everything just burst forth. Similar to what I was seeing last week. We got the Wheel of Fortune, my friends, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. To me, I link it to Jupiter energy, so it's like a good luck charm. It's expansive. This is my four-leaf clover of the tarot deck. So maybe you're going to be a little extra lucky in this time. Maybe you're going to catch a little lucky break. Maybe something's just going to work out perfectly for you and fall into place. Even if it seems like it's not going to, the Wheel of Fortune says, oh yeah, things could change quickly, right? Things could change on a dime. Whereas like this energy is about cycles, change, and metamorphosis. The wheel can be as well, except this one is slow and thorough. This one is rapid, quick, fast, explosive, very, very sudden. So we want to keep a close eye on this. Again, it's very expansive, but it's in a rush too. So it's like we have these energies that are mirroring each other. We have one going slow. We have one that's very sudden and extremely fast. And we have this Four of Pentacles right here in the center. So could this be a problem or a speed bump of some kind, potentially. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Sagi. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the world. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Sagi, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the world here? Why is the world here for my Sagi friends? Okay, this is a very cautious, slow, methodical approach for some reason, but it's not necessarily a bad one. We have the Nine of Pentacles in the upright, solid, stable, predictable. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it the right way. If we're going to handle this, we're going to be very strategic about it. It's just giving me that very pragmatic, planned out, strategic type of way. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful card. As I always mention, it's wind-based, it's very victorious. See this person, they're out in their backyard, they got the little bird on the hand, just surrounded by blessings and abundance. So I do like this. If there are a lot of things shifting and changing in your life, whether they're going slow or fast, to me, it's like we're moving in a good direction either way, which I think is beautiful. But the only thing with the Nine of Pentacles, it could be similar to this Four, where like both of these energies are not fans of energy shifting, where it might take someone a long time to adapt to something, where it's like normally there's this one energy that's very adaptable that could go from here to here to here. This one is not so much like that. This energy needs some time, it needs adjustment, it needs something slow, steady, and methodical for some reason. So yes, are we picking up the shifting, changing energy? For sure already. But this one, it's just very planned out. And I feel like I saw it a few weeks ago for you too, about a strategic, planned out type of approach. This is very similar, where it's like one foot in front of the other, in front of the other. Slow, steady, methodical, method to the madness. Now, for another portion of you, this could be a happy ending as well, right? Like with the world and the Nine of Pentacles, it's like, oh, all right, that worked out how it needed to, which is something I was picking up in the Aries reading too. So we're going to keep moving. It's like something just flowing. It's like I can just allow it to flow how it needs to, or I could pressure it. I guess we'll see. But I want to get in on this Four of Pentacles. That's the one that's really intriguing me, aside from the wheel. So why is the Four of Pentacles here for my lovely Saggy friends? Why is that there? An abundance of caution. An abundance of caution how someone might be acting. So we have the Page of Pentacles in the upright. Obviously, the page is all about communication. Notice we have all this earthy energy right up here in the front. Like these four cards are not really trying to budge for whatever reason. Now, pages, I mean, this could be great for work, business, career, especially if you're looking for like new things or new ventures. Really great when it comes to the earthly stuff. So I think for any of you dealing with stuff in like the work, career, business mode, beautiful. Love this all. But when it comes to communication, interpersonal relationships, and connections, there's this energy that's holding back, where it's like, I'm going to say something, but I'm going to hold it back. I'm going to give you a piece, but I'm not going to give you the whole thing. So there is this energy of communication, talking, messages, but it's just being very cautious with how it approaches something, how it frames something. So again, for some Saggies, that could even be advice, where it's like, okay, just be cautious with how you talk about this or how you approach this situation. Again, not bad. Like there's great energy here for the money and the earthly stuff. But the interpersonal, like with the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, it's an energy that wants to dig, where it's like, nope, more, more. I know the energy is holding back. Give me more, give me more. Let's go in on the wheel. We'll see what that has. Because I don't necessarily feel like this energy in the middle is like problematic. It's just slow. It's just very slow and set in its ways. But let's see what the wheel has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadows. So yeah, for some of you, this could be an absolutely fabulous reading. For others, it might be a little frustrating, to be honest, with all this earthy energy. But let's see why the wheel is here for Saggy. Thank you. Quick. Super quick. This energy is like on a totally different frequency, where it's like, nope, not rushing. No, I'm not taking my time. Let's just get it done. It's like ripping the Band-Aid off. Queen of Swords. This energy is not playing around. Queen of Swords is not being very cautious, not being very tactful. And again, she can represent planning and tact, but just the way the energy presents to me with like the fire air combo on the back end, it's like very fast, very sudden. So could there be a lot of things that change surprisingly? Yes, or unexpectedly when we have all this earthy predictable energy and then boom, this one pops in out of the blue. It's like, how did that happen? Like, how did that energy change so dramatically? Because that's just how it feels. Like, this energy is not so tactful on the back end. Now, sometimes the Queen of Swords, I always say she's honest, straightforward, to the point, very shrewd type of energy, whereas this one is being very cautious and tactful. Queen of Swords is not, where she's just saying whatever's on her mind. It's just letting it rip. But as far as the shifting, changing energy with her and the wheel, it just feels very sudden, straight to the point, straight to the root. Uh, it's powerful, it's sudden, it's unexpected. But I don't necessarily feel like it's bad. That's another thing. I'm not sure what every single Sagi is going through. Yeah, is a fast and unexpected shift of energy? Yes, but I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad thing. For some of you, it could actually be really great. But let's go through and do a quick little recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card because there are two drastically different approaches that seem to be working towards a similar aim. But if you kindly look in the box position number one, we start very slow and methodical on the front. We got the world with the Nine of Pentacles. Could this be a winner victory? Absolutely beautiful type of energy. Slow, steady, methodical. It's an energy that's like, okay, no, I want to get there, but I'm going to take my time. It's just super strategic for some reason. And you might find it a little clunky. Great energy for the earthly stuff. But in the center, we have the Four of Pentacles with the the Page of Pentacles. Communication, conversation, once again. But this one is choosing its words wisely. It's being very tactful about how it addresses something. And there's like a digging for information as well. So for a lot of Saggies in this time, not telling you to bite your tongue, but for some of you, it could be advice where it's like, all right, you might need to be smooth here with the words. Moving to the back end, though, this energy is totally not. Very sudden, unexpected, surprising change or shift of energy, because all this is very predictable, very planned out, and this one kind of goes off script on the back end. So just watch out for that. I don't feel like it's a bad thing. It goes off script where it's like, all right, that wasn't the plan. Why aren't you going according to plan? So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. What do we got in the shadows for Saggy? Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. Thank you. Nice and quick. Cool. 10 of Cups. One of the better cards. And again, it's lighthearted and fun. And if you remember way back to the beginning of the reading, we had this like very lighthearted, fun, jovial type of energy. That's kind of what I'm picking up here in the shadows again. So for those of you that have been going through either a boring time, a too predictive time, um, frustrating time, whatever it might be, that is a strong message where Spirit's like, you need to do something to lighten the energetic load. You need to do something to enjoy yourself. But the Ten of Cups is great. It's a card of wish fulfillment, happiness, victory. So you have a lot of good stuff sprinkled in this week's reading. But the only downside to the Ten of Cups, it's very similar to that front end card. Sometimes it could be a little excessive, especially in the emotional realm. So again, whether it's somebody else where they're feeling big feelings and acting as such, that could be it. Maybe there's certain things that you're really feeling deep when this is here. I do think it moves in the right direction. That's the one thing I will say, because all is well that ends well. I don't know why I'm using that phrase. I don't think I've ever used it in a reading, but all is well that ends well. We're going to leave it at that, Saggy. That's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My May calendar is up and the spots go quick, so you might want to check it out. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to win either a copy of the Tarot of the Owls, beautiful deck, and it's really nice, or 3 custom made pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of the cards that showed up in this week's reading, which one caught your attention most or resonated with you most. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the posts tab. My friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.